The cruising lifestyle comes with almost total freedom to decide where you're going to go and when. And while that's great, it can be easy to doubt your choices and decisions.
Why did we sail north last year?
Although we're travelling very slowly, we still don't have time to see everything. As we start our journey outside of the UK, we need to learn how to spot a place or experience that is really worth it. And we don't always get it right, as you'll see in this week's episode. Hi, we're Stu and Laura. We swapped our lives on land for adventures aboard our 36-foot sailboat Delfino. After an amazing summer learning the ropes in the stunning Scottish Highlands, we've now left the UK and are sailing south. Subscribe and join us for a journey full of discovery, learning and delicious food along the way.
I love these mornings when it's sunny. You get these beams of sunlight coming through the port lights and it's so relaxing. All right, let's crack on with coffee.
We've had a lovely couple of days in Concarneau, although our boat has crashed into the water pipe on the visitors' pontoon, so before we leave we've got to move to another dock to get water.
Yeah, it's been great. You did a few, you cooked some galettes. We ate out a bunch, went for a walk around the town, otherwise just did some work, but I'm ready to leave. Hopefully we get to anchor tonight. We'll see what the conditions are like. It's
So where are we anchoring? Ile de Gros?
Yeah, we might anchor off Ile de Gros if it's not too swelly. If not, we'll go into Port Louis, which is kind of one of these marinas that are near Lorient. It's about 30 miles, so it should take us about 6 hours, give or take. Wind looks lovely. It looks like it's going to be a great downwind or sort of broad reach sail. Delfino's happy place, really.
But first, we need to get some water.
Yeah, let's go get some water.
Okay, yeah. Tight on the spring.
Okay, you can drop. Let's go. You ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've just turned a little bit more downwind. We did have the wind on the beam and we've just turned so it's now a little bit behind the beam. And we've actually gone faster. I don't know how that's happened, but...
we're with the tide a bit better.
Yeah, probably. So we're somehow doing 7 knots with 11.9 knots of wind. Yeah, 12 knots of wind. We've got a 30-mile sail to Lorient and we've already bitten off, 6 or 7 of them? Been quite a nice sail so far, really nice and warm, although I still do have my fowlies on, my fowlie bottoms. But
I'm free of fowlies.
Free.
For the first time this season. We're on the sun. Why did we sail north last year?
Because it was fun.
It was fun.
So we knew we were going in at the deep end last year, and we knew that Scotland would be extreme and that the sailing would be tough. But our rationale was that it would make us better sailors, and it definitely has done that, and it's definitely made this season feel so much easier, which is really nice. Like, I don't think we would have appreciated the coast of France anywhere near as much if we hadn't done last season up north. We probably wouldn't be sailing this early in the season if we hadn't gone up north. We'd have been in kind of peak season going through Brittany with, and yeah, I really don't think we'd have appreciated it enough. So yeah, although it was cold, I am still really grateful that we did go up north last year. But one thing that is a huge difference is that I think we've already had more downwind sails in Brittany than we had in basically the whole of Scotland, and in general the sailing has been easier, which is kind of expected, but it's also meant that I've had a lot better time doing the sailing. Like, I haven't been feeling as cold or as seasick, and it hasn't felt like such a kind of huge event to spend all day sailing like it did when we were up north. We have seen significantly fewer dolphins though. We've only seen dolphins like twice since we've been in France, whereas we saw them pretty much every time we went sailing in Scotland. But, you know, that's why we went up there.
What an amazing sail, it's so good. Delfina's absolutely hooning along. So we're doing 6 knots, 7. I'm loving the sailing around Brittany. Pretty consistent winds, good weather. In many ways, much easier than we experienced in Scotland. I don't think we'd be enjoying it as much if we hadn't done Scotland first. The landscape here is rugged, but not too rugged. And the food's excellent. Yeah, Brittany is delivering big time. Conscious that there's my jibe there, but it's all good. Alright, let's go back to the cockpit. Everybody's heading southeast at the moment. Heading south, heading south, heading south. All of them are heading south. So, Laura's gone down for a nap. The wind's picked up, so I'm going to reef the plane.
When the wind goes over a certain threshold, we use the reefing lines to pull the mainsail down and reduce the amount of sail that we have out. This stops the boat from being overpowered, going too fast, and putting us in a potentially dangerous situation. Although Delfino has extremely sturdy rigging and would be fine with all of the canvas out, it's more comfortable for us if we reef earlier, and we're typically not in a rush, so we don't mind going a bit slower. You're usually taught that you have to be facing into the wind to reef, which if you're sailing away from the wind means you waste a lot of time turning all the way around and then all the way back again. It's quicker and easier with one person to release the sheets and depower the sail slightly before gradually lowering it and pulling the reefing line in to hold it down.
There we go, reef the main. Yeah, we're going in there. So we're probably gonna need to come this way and then drive again.
Don't think we're going to make it around the corner.
No.
Jibe.
Yeah, I know, we probably should have waited to drive. Because we probably could have done just 1 instead of 3. Anyway, never mind. There's been a lot of sailboats out here. Very busy. Some super fast ones, a really fast trimaran that lifted 2 of its hulls, which was pretty crazy to see. Only 1 hull in the water, and this boat here with black sails and super heeled going very fast. You've got the island of Ile de Groix. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's really beautiful. I'm absolutely, in love with Brittany right now. We've got about 30 minutes left to Port Louis, where we'll be leaving the boat for a few days. P.S. Don't judge me for what I'm doing to our mainsail right now, but it's working. Sailing very deep, so the wind is almost directly behind us. Oh, it looks so bad. Oh. It's like not supposed to be an R-rated YouTube channel, or
today's Breton boulangerie sailing snack is a Far Breton, which is kind of, I think, like a custard tart sort of flanny thing, nicknamed Wobbly Cake by some kids on a boat that we met earlier on this week. And yeah, it's pretty wobbly. That felt really solid.
Is it good?
It's almost kind of like apricot custard, I would say. I don't think there is any apricot in it, but that's just, yeah, very tasty. It doesn't have any pastry at all on the bottom, which I was kind of expecting. It's literally just like a set custard. Yeah, very good.
Because of the swell, we decided not to anchor and instead we headed into Port Louis Marina near Lorient. Lorient is a huge boating hub for commercial and recreational sailing because of the shelter created by 2 river estuaries. The entrance into this area is narrow, which means that all of the traffic, wind and swell get compressed and all feel more intense as a result. So much so that our filming dropped off pretty abruptly as soon as we entered the river.
So we arrived here into Port Louis, and we didn't really film the entrance to Port Louis. It's amazing how even after kind of a 6 or 7 hour sail, like, you can feel really, it's really hard work. I feel really tired after that. And as we were approaching Port Louis, the conditions surprisingly got a little bit intense. The sort of wind picked up a little bit and there was quite a lot of swell and quite steep seas and a lot of boats on the water. So just loads to pay attention to. And the actual docking was, it was a thing. It's interesting how you change one variable and all of a sudden what could be quite a nice docking can become really hard. And what was tough about this one was we were tired and we made a couple of mistakes. I'll take you outside and I'll talk about what happened. Sorry I didn't get any footage, but that's just the way it is. So we were coming into the marina, that's the entrance there. And all of these slips here were all filled with boats. So we had 2 options. Either we could come alongside here or we could come alongside here. We were already rigged for port side 2 and we tend to like having the cockpit off so that people aren't walking past us along the pontoon. So we decided to go along this finger pontoon here. The issue was that the wind was blowing the boat off the pontoon, so away. It was kind of coming this way. Laura managed to step ashore with the line, which is great. But she stepped ashore as she always does, and we step ashore with just one line. We're just with this midships line. And the reason to do that is that it means I can, once it's attached, I can motor forward or I can motor in reverse, and that will bring the boat alongside the pontoon. The problem is where this thing goes to. Usually at the end of the finger pontoon there's a cleat, so usually there's one of these things, but down there's no cleat. There's just a ring thing, those. And the challenge with that is that Laura couldn't get enough purchase on it. She couldn't get the rope around it. It's very low, and there was a point where she was kind of holding the whole weight of the boat, which is not ideal. Any docking procedure that involves holding the whole weight of the boat is just not a good one. And because there was no boat next to us, there was nothing to lie up against. With hindsight, we should have just gone into that other slip. That would have made the whole thing much easier. Otherwise, though, Port Louis is very nice. We've both been for a run. Went up to the standard boulangerie to get a tradition for a sandwich. We're going to be here for about a week. My dad's going to come. We're going to go hang out with some friends in Van near here, where we've got an Airbnb, and just super excited about exploring beautiful Brittany with some friends. And need a bit of a break after the stress. I mean, we were both pretty beat up yesterday and questioning whether we can do this. But when you've got amazing sunshine like this in a beautiful French town, then makes it worth it. It's pretty early and we're heading off the boat today. We got a couple of days with some friends in an Airbnb in Van. We're gonna go check out some of the sights of Brittany. I'm pretty excited. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning.
Say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
To
get to where we're going, we've got to take a ferry, a bus, and a train. So we'll take you along for the journey.
And then a car.
And a car, yeah, you're right. 4 modes of transport today. 4 modes.
Let's go.
Step 1 is a ferry, the one that comes every half hour. If we miss this, we'll definitely miss our train. Why do we always end up late? Classic. Go, 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 go.
We made it onto the ferry, but trying to actually pay for our ride was a whole other adventure.
Right, okay. Classic travel experience in the modern world, right? Like you need an app and the QR code doesn't work, it's not clear how you do it. We're getting there. Good? That work? Nice. Sweet, we're in. We figured it out. Step 1 done. They were very nice on that bus. Very.
Like the people in Brittany are so nice that even like the ferry drivers are like, don't worry about it. We'll help you download the app.
I swear he said F it at one
You
point.
did, yeah. Right. Now, where's the bus?
I know, yeah. Good question. I think that's the bus. Let's find out. Bonjour. À la gare. Oui, merci. A little bit of confusion over what stop we're going to.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't specify which girl. There are lots of girls.
Yeah, sure.
But I think we're on the right bus.
No, the tickets on that app were unbelievably cheap. We paid €1.50 each, and it's an hour's worth of travel. So both the ferry and this bus are covered by that €1.50. Such good value.
Arrêt Chazé l'hôpital.
Train time. Made it. Super efficient trip.
For the final leg of the journey, we were picked up by our friends Ross and Francesca for the drive to our final destination.
Mont St Michel!
But there was just one final bus ride before we could get out and explore. Before we show you around Mont St Michel, I'll quickly introduce our friends. This is Ross, Francesca, Dan and Maddie, all of whom we've known for absolutely ages, and we've travelled to some pretty cool places together over the years. Oh, and if you want to know what happened to Dan's leg, I'll link to his channel in the description box. Anyway, back to this thing. Mont St Michel is one of the most popular tourist attractions in the whole of France. It's beautiful and spectacular, but also extremely busy.
So insanely busy.
Over 3.2 million people visit it every year, and the medieval streets are not designed to handle that volume of people, particularly if they only have one working leg.
You got this, Dan. Good effort, mate. I'll stand behind him.
But we enjoyed the views from the walls, wandered around the monastery, and sought out any pockets of calm we could find among the chaos.
This place has been cool. It sort of like gives a sense of being in the clouds when you're up here. The monastery, better than expected, to be honest.
We were pleased to see Mont St Michel, but after a few weeks on the remote Brittany coast, the crowds were definitely a shock to the system. We always feel a bit torn about such huge tourist attractions. Yes, they're definitely cool to see, but we very often feel let down by the trappings of mass tourism. crowds, gift shops, and rip-off restaurants. But on the other hand, Mont St Michel has always been a centre for tourism and pilgrimage, so maybe the gift shops are more authentic than we think after all. After a few more hours in the car, we reached our Airbnb for the weekend, a beautiful thatched cottage in the Brittany countryside. Just having a little nosy at the spices that we've got in the Airbnb. Paprika, 4-spice, ginger, yep, curry powder, nigella seeds that I've like rarely seen. I don't even know what that is. Nutmeg, garlic, obviously, more paprika, more pepper, herbs de Provence. Cute little selection. The next morning, we headed into the nearby village in search of a boulangerie, and instead found something even better.
Okay, are we ready?
Yes. I like the way it just says, ici. The bread will be here. Hey, that looks pretty good.
It's warm! This is literally the best thing ever.
That is pretty good. And today's the day that he broke his other leg.
We killed a bit of time with a walk around the coast before our next food-based activity, a long French lunch.
Laura's gonna have an oyster.
I'm not looking forward to this. But I feel like we are in Oysterland. I should have an oyster.
Nice.
I just hope it comes with lots of lemon.
Cheers. Pretty delicious. It's not bad at all. Very salty. Very nice.
Really salty.
Yeah.
So why are you worried about this, Laura?
Yeah, so I don't like seafood.
And what else do you not like?
I don't like slimy food.
And what are oysters?
Pescatarian thing, a more recent-ish thing.
Slimy seafood.
Put some
The
lemon
most
as well,
stupid
I'd
of
say.
Yeah, definitely going for some lemon.
Yeah.
My hands are shaking.
You can only fit so much juice in the shell.
And in your mouth. Pretty much. Chin chin. Slurp it. Go for it, Laura. Go for it. Go for it.
The main taste was these like salt crystals. Yeah, that was not that bad at all.
The aftertaste is fishy.
No, the aftertaste was like the 4 salt crystals.
How you doing there, Dan?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Dan's not into it.
No.
There's one
Did you chew it?
I did chew it, yeah. I don't know how you can swallow that without chewing.
You can. It's pretty slimy. Release the flavour.
Well, there's one
Straight
oyster
there,
left,
baby.
whoever likes it the most. And why would anyone want to taste sea?
I don't know,
I'm with Dan on this, but
Every time I drink seawater, you vomit.
So, when
We've come to Van for the day. Just exploring. Look at this thing. Pretty cool. Had a nice lunch. Tried oysters. Now we're just going to go for a bit of a wander around the town.
At first we were sceptical, but we've really lent into it now.
let's do round 2 on this guy.
Oh, you didn't like that.
We didn't know that at all.
I've just had a little tour of the town on the Petit Train, which was great fun.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go for a wander. There was a garden festival that we went past, so we're probably going to check that out.
A bit touristy, but like actually seems like a living, breathing city, which I like. So
Yeah, let's
go
go have
take
a
a
wander.
look. I thought I was going to hate that train, but I had a great time.
It was pretty fun.
I've been trying to convince you for years to go on one of those trains.
Just like every fibre of my being just wants to walk around. But
Here
Here
it comes.
I may had a broken leg, so
Yeah.
so it made sense to take it.
This is a super cute town. It's definitely got the most kind of old cute buildings of anywhere we've been so far. But it feels actually like a town where people live as well as just feeling like a tourist area. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. They have like petite, moyenne or grande.
Do
Come on, here you go. That's what they look like.
Whoa, that looks like a really good kuna, man.
Oh, this looks good.
After wandering our way through the town and around the garden festival, we headed back home to fire up the barbecue. Mostly to make dinner, but also to cook the most unique of the Breton delicacies that we'd tried so far.
What? We're having so much fun with that, Laura. That's the one, please.
Thank you.
Our final item on the menu was andouille, a type of smoked sausage made with various bits of a pig's digestive tract. The quantity of organ meat gives it a unique and apparently earthy flavour that we'd heard was an acquired taste.
It actually doesn't look that bad. Whoa.
No, I think that looks pretty bad.
Like I said, think of it like a kebab.
But I think it's got a lot of other pork bits in it. It's not just tripe. I'll go for this mega cooked bit.
I was cheating. I've gone for a slimy bit.
Chin chin chin.
Initial thoughts?
You liked it?
It's very strong.
Whoa. That is very farmy.
Kind of wish I'd taken a small one.
It's quite
It does.
a lot
It
of,
does taste like
yeah.
an arse crack smells.
God, spit it out, man.
Oh, gross.
I thought you were faking that.
Come on.
It's okay. I got it.
So, sorry to any French people watching, but I don't think that is for us. I think that's a bit too much of an acquired taste.
Oh man, I thought it would be like, okay. I thought it would be alright. I had such a big bit and it was so chewy. I have a feeling that we perhaps shouldn't have cooked it as long as we did.
Yeah, I think we might have intensified the taste of that.
Ross, put it in, man. Stu's still gagging back here.
She's like, it's fine, it's fine. Such a little bit.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. That's bad.
Is it? Wow.
As always, thank you for watching and for all of your support on the channel. If you'd like access to real-time updates and exclusive behind-the-scenes content, head on over to our Patreon. Any support over there would be greatly appreciated, and we're donating the first month of sign-ups to the RNLI. So thank you and see you next time.